slizziest podcast in America.
It's the slizziest podcast in America. Rozay with Zay. You feel me? I know how this is going. We got another one. I got the greatest of greatest people with me today. You feel me? So we're gonna be locked in. This is a good one. Let everybody go around the room, introduce themselves, let you know, let them tell you a little bit things about themselves. So you feel me? We're gonna go right here to Hilda. You know what I mean?
Hey y'all. My name is Hilda M. Jordan. I'm a Utican, graduated from Proctor, Afro-Latina,
Okay.
Dominican, and Panamanian. And I do claim being a Utican. Actually really proud of that. When I'm, listen, and I'll,
Shout out to Utica.
no, and I say this, right, because then when you hear that I graduated cum laude from Harvard University,
Yeah.
right, with 2 fellowships awarded for international race relations studies. I've worked at one of the top law firms in DC, have written a brief that's been read by Supreme Court justices of the United States. Bought my first home at 23.
See?
I really will say, will really say, like, I'm from Utica and I'm a product of, like, some of the best things that the city has to offer.
Right, definitely.
Yeah, when I think about like you know how we graduate, everybody got 10 years coming up. These are the type of things I be thinking about when I see everybody 10 years later. Like somebody's gonna have one of these amazing ass stories about like what they're doing in life. And Hilda is it, bro. Like
And she is proud. And that is what is up.
yo, listen, the things that makes you happy, man.
Uh-huh.
Come on, Des. Come on, let the people know who you is, Des.
Y'all know who I am. Nah,
Put us on.
my name is Des. I just got back from the military. I separated October of 2022. Dang, it's 2023 already. Yeah. I'm not really doing nothing right now. I'm trying to get my life together. A stay-at-home mom, 24/7. It's 444, y'all.
Make a wish.
It's 444, y'all. But yeah, I'm a stay-at-home mom. I be at home with my kids 24/7, and I'm trying to get them into daycare, and it's so hard right now, y'all. Anyway, but yeah, like
We gonna talk. I know some.
yeah. Oh,
We gonna talk.
see, look, Zays.
That's a fact. 'cause
Community building right
Community.
there.
And this is
Have you on the community
networking,
building?
y'all. This is
Because-
networking. Okay.
I've been thinking about it. You know how we used to have the Boys and Girls Club and mad after school programs?
There's nothing.
Yo, there's nothing.
There's
I
not
know.
the underground.
Nothing.
There's nothing.
Say that.
My daughter's mother told me I had to find an after school program for my daughter. Hardest task in America right now for me, bro. I mean, at this point, we just
so
gone.
hard.
Funding
I'm ready to open up my own daycare. Y'all ready? That's daycare. Nah, let me stop.
But I am going to plug this. I definitely will be doing some work with the district in the next couple of months with the NAACP to literally develop programs because Utica finally got the $30 million of funding that they've been owed for a couple of years. So it's really on us to tell them, like, what do we want to see? What do our, like, kids, for some of y'all who are parents, but also, like, what does this next generation need? What do we want to volunteer at? And honestly, that's a part of why I'm here to like get to know more of y'all, to let y'all know I'm back and to really like bridge that gap because we need to be the ones leading in that work because some of the folks who are there, they don't know. They literally don't.
Another big thing that I be seeing, like just on social media, at least when it comes to Utica, is I guess it's hard to get tutors for kids in school these days. When I was in elementary school and this shit happened, they put me in resource immediately.
Right.
So like what is going on nowadays that is not happening? Like I don't know. To me, even like down to the point of like how they like when we got in trouble in school, I feel like teachers and stuff back then like handle the situations way better than what they do now. Now when kids get like act out in school, whatever, they act like they can't handle the situation, or they act like they're allowing the child to control the situation. It's like completely different. I don't know.
But you got to understand, it's a new world. Like you can't compare what we used to go through and what this new generation is going through. Like, let me just tell you right here. Like, my daughter is smart. You want to know why? I'm not gonna say I'm not discrediting myself, but these phones, these tablets, the TV. You know Snoop Dogg? Yo, shout out to Snoop. Listen. This man has a show on YouTube. I want to put it on for y'all.
You don't watch Gracie's Corner?
Oh, she used to love it, but it's played out now. But they're smart because of this. You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like,
Nah, that's a fact.
and they not really treating it honestly as they would with a white kid. You know, they'll get help immediately, even if you got to go an hour, 2 hours away. You know where I'm coming from? But I don't know. It just
No.
it's a different world.
Heavy
It's
on
a
that.
different world.
Heavy on I support what you're saying with the I said that the other day to somebody. I'm like, yo, the technology thing, like at some point in time, like we're not gonna have like kids are not gonna be writing pencil and paper no more in school.
Yo, paper is not gonna even exist anymore. Like,
Because down south, like even when we was in high school,
currency,
like
I
when my friend Mike lived in Florida or whatever, yo, bro, they was giving them laptops and shit to go to class with, bro.
Yeah.
You feel me?
They take tablets home and stuff.
right, like,
But
right.
better
This shit gets different when you get to
resource
New York
schools, they get.
They used to give us books, like straight
Right,
books,
straight
and then
books.
or go to this chapter and do this chapter and sign out this book and yeah.
Can I say something too? I think some of it has to do with parenting, and like I feel like some parents enable their kids. Like some people do such a good job at parenting that they instill the confidence in the kid to develop their own opinion at such a young, underdeveloped age, and that's where these clashes come. Because when I was a kid, it was can we curse on this? Yeah. It was shut the fuck up. Yeah, it was when I was a kid. It was shut the fuck up. Listen, I'm right, you're wrong. I'm the adult, you're the child. Now it's like, wait a minute, why do I have to wear my pants this way? Or why is he dressed like that? Or why can't I dress like this? Or etc.
Right.
So some of it has to do with the we're bringing this upon ourselves too. We're instilling this confidence into our kids.
It always starts at home.
Right?
Definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
Yo, please
I think-
introduce yourselves too.
Oh,
Oh,
My
yeah,
fault.
my bad. You guys go ahead too. My bad. We just
Oh,
Right. What's
Good
up,
concept.
y'all? I'm Tatiana. I'm 24. I am a commissioned artist.
Yes, ma'am.
I also work
What's
at
your medium?
My medium, it's oil paint right now, so I do a lot of portraits.
Oh wow.
But that's what I make most of my commission from. I work at Munson Williams right now. I actually started selling some merch there, so if you ever come through, check it out. We got some new exhibits.
I know because son, you took me on a task one day to buy some art, yo, bro. She has me outside of Monson Williams for like 3 hours. Whatever, just to come out with this picture.
Is it Munson
and
Williams?
then she came, she came out with the picture and gave us the speech of our life about who painted it, the whole background
Do you
story.
guys have like the Black History Month exhibit going on this year? We don't actually, but right now we have a Black artist exhibit.
Oh,
Either
a
way,
black artist.
I mean, to me, that's like it's a win. I mean, Munson is trying to get more diverse, even though they're really not. And the traffic we bring in is all Caucasian. I'm just saying, there's not too much diversity there whatsoever. We just got a diversity department with one person running it. She is an African woman. Amen to that too. Congratulations to her. Very smart as you, miss.
Oh,
But we've only
y'all
had two
both
Black
like
artists there
all
so
of y'all.
far.
I know you. Yeah, we gonna get to you too.
we go come on,
gonna
we
get
knocking at the door. Come on,
It's my
Doc.
turn now?
This is
You gonna-
go ahead, girl.
Okay.
This is
Hey
beautiful.
y'all,
y'all.
my name is Dodge. Well, Dodge Nay. I just graduated from Buff State with my social work degree. Well, BSW. I'm sorry. I'm from Utica, of course. 23 right now. I work at ICANN. Don't know if you guys know about ICANN.
I know about ICANN.
Yeah.
Shout out to ICANN.
Okay.
That's all I'ma say.
Not sponsoring this video.
right.
Oh,
No.
but listen, shout out to them. That's a great program. I will work for them.
Girl,
Yes.
I love it there.
Yes.
I love it there. What else we had to say about ourselves?
Whatever you feel like.
Oh.
You from Utica?
Oh yeah, I'm from Utica. My name is Dodge,
You
right? Work at ICANN. So even though I graduated with my bachelor's degree in social work, I'm not licensed yet. But I'm working to go back and get my master's so I can be licensed and work in the
Yes,
schools.
ma'am.
You know, I'm trying.
Get that dick.
I'm
You
trying.
gonna get there.
I got
I'm trying,
you
but I
feel me?
actually
Hold
do-
on, you feel me? Snap.
Word.
The
But listen,
position I do right now, I love it. You know, I work with kids, meet with them in their homes, in the schools. I'll take them places, evaluate their mental health, topic we discussing today.
Right.
But I definitely want to be deeper into the schools and actually have an effect on the people I work with, because when I was in school, I feel like I didn't really have it. And then going to college, dealing with what I was dealing with in college, coming straight home, I feel like everyone needs that, person in their life to help them.
Right.
I'm sorry.
build
Can I
up.
say one thing?
Right.
Y'all keep talking about this education. I'm not from Utica. I'm from Clinton.
Right.
My education
Was
was,
different.
superb.
Oh, we know.
Yeah.
Oh, we know.
Can I quote that?
The
Can I quote
influences
that?
and the inspiration I've got from my teachers, I mean, just tears. Okay,
Yo,
heart wrenching.
listen, I
We
went
can't
to.
relate.
I need to quote
I
that.
wouldn't say it was a privilege, but you feel me?
It was
I got
a
to go to.
privilege.
I'm not talking about that.
Oh,
I'm
okay, well,
saying,
shit.
I got the.
Wait to go to Clinton.
I love
New
when I
York,
went to
right?
Proctor,
Right.
but
Right, love.
when I went to Waterville, bro, that shit was a different ball game over there, bro. That shit was bro.
Tell us about it.
I feel like the shit we was learning in Proctor, bro. Like, all right, everybody else in New York State learning the same shit. The shit in Waterville, bro. You feel me? Proctor didn't tell me we was taking British literature and shit over here. We go to Waterville, taking all this shit. Like, they with the Beowulf shit for real over here, bro. Like, I'm just saying, bro. Like,
I have two little cousins right now going to Clinton Middle School, and
Yeah, they got the K through 12 up there. So
it's hard for them right now. Like it's different.
yeah.
I must say though, at Clinton
your
we have
daughter?
tutoring like crazy.
But no, oh yes, I'm gonna tell you the truth. They got tutoring.
They
like,
help you. They don't just
No,
take you out
and
the
they
class
do.
and put you in a special.
and they
one,
really
you
do.
know?
So I don't really know what it is about Utica.
I mean, I think it's twofold. So I'm gonna speak on this because education is a part of my consulting specialty, and like particularly what we're talking about is the level of expectations that people have for their students, right? That teachers believe that they can have when you're looking at a classroom that's filled with Black students, Latino students, poor kids, really, of all races. It looks very different than what you think they can do if they come from family that have means. Right? Even if they're spending the same amount of dollars, or even in Clinton, they probably spend more per child, right? To make sure that they succeed, because it's this idea of like, oh, that's worth the investment, right? Because we're going to get our return back on that development of a
They
child.
damn sure do.
It's so
And-
sad too, isn't it?
Introduce yourself.
Because and I'll just end it on this last point because I do want you to
go for
speak,
it.
and you were talking a lot about your own educational perspective. Is that like when you look at poor kids that grow up in America, specifically Black, Latino, Asian poor kids who are immigrants who are living in the ghettos, because that's what some of our neighborhoods are, right? People are like, what are you
Absolutely.
destined for? Jail, right? Like that's what we're setting
always
people
been
up
a
for.
Absolutely,
Uh-huh.
absolutely.
Right? We literally, some of our
absolutely.
schools here look like literal prisons and are set up
Right.
as pentagons
Yeah,
for
now
that
they have those
reason.
Yes.
metal detectors.
Yo, I be thinking, I want to get to you too.
Nah, go for it. Go for it, bro. Go for it. It's all good.
Because they be saying things and it just be popping up in my mind. Because I be wondering, like, damn, I just forgot it too. Go ahead, bro.
I'm sorry.
go ahead.
I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. Well, my name's Edgars, guys. I'm actually not from here. I'm from the Bronx. I was born in
The
Puerto
Bronx.
Rico. Yeah. My bad. Maybe I should have, whatever.
You got it. It's cool. It's cool.
I was born in Puerto Rico. I moved to the Bronx when I was 6, and I was raised there. And I just moved here to Utica to try to be an adult, build some equity. It's really hard to do in the city, especially as just an EMT. I work full-time EMS up here for Kunkel. We cover like the other side of Utica. They split the town into like half UFD, other half is Kunkel. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I got an associate's in biology at Herkimer. I was in school to be a teacher for the 11th and 12th grade literature, but yeah, I really wanted to do that. But then COVID hit, they closed the dorms, and I'm on my own, so I had to use my savings to find a place to stay, and I just haven't gotten back to going back to school yet. But that's the end goal eventually.
Bro, I always wonder, because, like I said, we went to Herc with each
I was
other.
gonna say, did you guys know
Yeah,
each other
yeah,
from
yeah.
her?
That's where we met.
That's
Yo,
Actually.
bro,
Okay.
my boy was fine. What is it? The fine arts. He's doing all little dances and stuff.
Yeah,
my boy
yeah,
was
yeah.
in this shit for real, bro. I'm trying
Yeah,
to tell
yeah,
you,
yeah.
bro. I always wonder, bro. Like I be having moments like I lost my Instagram and shit. So you feel me? I had to go through bad shit just to find y'all pages and all
Yeah.
this hot shit. But I always wonder like how like most of y'all was doing, or when I run into y'all be mad excited and shit, and then y'all be like, yeah, you feel me? I'm an EMT worker or whatever. You feel
Yeah,
me?
yeah, yeah.
And then I be like, you feel me? Me on the other hand, bro. You feel me? After that Herc situation, bro, listen, life had its up and downs after that Herc situation, bro. And I regret it to this day because if I didn't beat the person up, he shouldn't have stole my money. Fuck that. But if I didn't beat him up, I'll probably be at my what is it? PH or MD? I was going to school for sports medicine the whole time,
Yeah.
bro. You feel me? So I already
Let's
when I got the
acknowledge
hurt
the growth.
Listen,
Let's
bro, everything happens for a
acknowledge,
reason.
you know what I
bro.
mean?
There's no better teacher on this planet than
Exactly.
experience. And
Exactly.
You got it at first hand. So I'm proud of
Exactly.
you, man. I'm happy to be here, by the way. And you guys are all phenomenal.
I'm
I can't
happy to
wait-
be here too.
Yeah, I can't wait to see where the conversation goes. For real, it feels good to be here.
Nah,
It feels
facts.
really
I
good to
am
be here. And shout out to the production team in the back.
Definitely.
Yeah,
like,
out here.
It's a whole set.
Yeah, it's a whole team
Right,
back
right.
here.
It
I don't
really
think
is,
you guys
like-
know.
But I be like, I be thinking about that. I be thinking about that all the time because I be like, out of all my friends or whatever, feel me? It's a lot of fucking hood antics. But I have always been the one that went to school and shit. So it's just like, I always was
Found your
great with
medium.
I was always great with
Definitely.
networking with people and shit.
Definitely.
But I'm like, I have always been one of the people like I care about people way too much. So while I'm getting my life together, some dramatic shit will happen over here with my friend or one of them, and then it's like I'm back in the shits or whatever. And then it took me a while to put myself first. And I feel like this year, like January 1st or whatever, probably like a couple days before that shit, like I dead ass found my peace. Like last year, bro.
Congratulations.
Last year I was so
Definitely.
depressed and miserable as fuck. Like, you feel me? I couldn't get over the fact that like that my best friend wasn't here anymore. And shit would just go into shambles, bro. Like, you feel me? I went to jail, left somebody some shit. Bro, I was dead broke. Came home from prison. Dead broke. And I really just had to take it every day and find the little shit in life that makes you happy, bro. And that's why I try to tell people, like, yo, if you going through some shit that you complaining about and you have it in your control to fix it, bro, don't tell me about it. I'm not the person that want to hear it because, you feel me? There's some of us that got real life problems out here, bro. And you feel me?
Real.
Yeah, you know what's
life
crazy? I was
problems.
just talking with a coworker of mine about this. He grew up fairly privileged, and he felt like he couldn't tell me or speak to me or express his struggles because he knows where I'm from. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Bronx, but I'm from the projects over there. Very familiar with you. Like,
Yeah.
where I'm from, people will feel uncomfortable getting out of their cars. And I had the luxury of going to school and getting the right influences. But I was telling him that everybody has their own shit, you know what I mean? Like, but it's important to acknowledge that other people's shit might stink more than yours. Doesn't mean they don't have a shit.
Right.
They're not sitting in their own shit, you know, but like,
Basically, don't compare. Like,
yeah,
just-
it's not, yeah,
you
it's
going
not
through
healthy
your
to
shit,
do that.
I'm going through my shit, and
Yeah, it's not healthy to do
That
that.
cliche of
Definitely.
everyone's going through something.
Yeah,
Exactly.
literally, yeah, and
Exactly.
it just that, like, everybody's shit don't smell the same, and it's important to acknowledge. But yeah, but
Nah, that's a fact.
yeah, I'm sorry I had to say it like that. It's just the first thing that came to mind.
It's facts.
but-
Like, go ahead.
I think that you're raising a really good point though on like relativism a bit, right?
Yeah.
Because it's all about what feels like the intense issue for you. Like somebody else, like that's not that big of a deal. Get over it, right?
Yeah,
or
yeah.
it's in your power to change everything. But sometimes you can be so stuck in the very space that you're in that you don't see all the options around you, right? And so
yeah. Or sometimes you just don't have the awareness, like you
Quite
just-
literally.
the just knowing that you're in shit to begin with is a privilege, because some people are
never really
yeah,
realize that. Some
are-
people just
they just don't smell it
That's
no
how I
more.
was
That's their
like,
shit,
yeah,
you know.
this is
Like
what it is. This is my shit. Like, no, for
Yeah.
real. And
Yo, that's why I hate when people be like, when they say certain shit, like they be like, when they be like racism or certain things don't affect people immediately. Like, we're the people that's at the bottom that got to deal with the shit, bro. You feel me? I think because the shit that it happened to, bro, the ones that got the effect of this shit, bro, like we're still fucked up behind it. Yeah. So like, I feel like as minorities, bro, we got to endure so much in life, bro, that it's unexplainable sometimes, bro.
And for people to be like racism doesn't exist, still that shit exists every fucking day. Like,
oh yeah, it does.
definitely.
man, listen, living in Buffalo for 5
Yeah.
years, that shit is so segregated. Believe it or not,
The first time,
Buffalo is real segregated.
the first time I hopped on a plane to even go like to boot camp, I was like, I encountered a whole racism. Like, it was crazy. I kind of just had to like look like, is this really happening? You know, I always said to myself, God know better not to put me in this position. You know what I mean? Like, because I watch these videos and I just see how people act and I just be like, but I was just kind of like looking in shock. Like, I'm on my way to go and start a new life. You feel where I'm coming from? And you
sitting here calling me a black, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I was like, yo, I could really just spit on this, but you know,
You can't get out your name kind of a situation.
Character.
Yeah.
Well, and I think though we're talking about too is a certain resilience. So the theme of Black History Month this year is literally resilience, right, and resistance. And we schools are more segregated now than they were in the 1950s and 60s, right? And when we talk about the Utica school system specifically, right, the elementary school that your child gets to go to literally changes their entire trajectory, like on average, right? Because to that point, it's like, and you mentioned this as a legacy of slavery because it's true, right? Like it's literally where it was redlined or where kids are living in lead poisoned homes. Right, lead is a huge issue in Utica, and when we're talking about mental health, we cannot divorce how physical health shapes people's psychological development. So you have kids whose parents can only afford to let's say rent in some of the poorest neighborhoods, so West Utica, Cornhill, houses that have lead paint in them, or even the dirt is literally contaminated with lead in Utica. Right, it's not just the old paint; it's the literal dirt.
And the new paint.
Yes, the old paint. Right, so when you move your window shutters or your doors, but I mean the literal soil in Utica is contaminated in some of these neighborhoods, right? So even your kids playing outside, and all it takes is a sugar packet worth of lead to irreversibly poison and psychologically damage the development of your child. Now kids are experiencing that in dust on a regular basis. So when you think about now those elementary school students,
I didn't know none of this. It make me want to keep my kids inside the house.
Well,
forever.
get your house lead tested first. And I say this there. So this is my other plug. Again, I do a lot of this community work and program. The Home Ownership Center has free lead testing, and they'll actually come in and even give up to $20,000 of lead remediation if you and your landlord can get through the application, or if you're a homeowner and you have kids. I'm plugging this in though because, and I'll stop the monologue soon, I promise. I'm just dropping all the knowledge. I'm like, y'all, we gotta get educated.
No, for real, because that's crazy.
But it's,
I like this.
It's racism. It's
Right.
literally the systemic racism, right? Because you divest from certain communities where Black people did own homes or where they could own homes. The property value goes down, right? So the people who own them don't really invest to bring them up to code. They're like, all right, it's just a cycle of poor people moving through this. Mm-hmm. Kids who have no choice as to where to go, right, have to live in this. Then they're going to the most overcrowded, underfunded schools with the newest teachers, because the more seasoned teachers are like, I got seniority. And I have a brand new principal. I have a bunch of foreign languages. I'm going to do the best that I can to serve the students to the best of my ability. So if I can go to a different environment, they're going to go.
Yeah. So for someone who might not, I'm with you, I promise.
No,
For
you're
someone
good.
who might not
Please.
understand, because I'm thinking about people I personally know, at work and stuff, that don't come from similar places, that will have a hard time understanding you when you say our schools are segregated still. So can you just briefly shed some light on what you meant by that? Because they're gonna look at me and say, "What is she talking about? Well, she doesn't know what."
I was definitely about to
don't
say that
have-
because I was gonna ask y'all even going back to the racism thing, because growing up in Utica,
Yeah.
back then I know they used to say that Utica's probably one of the biggest refugee cities.
Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard that for
Our
sure.
schools are so cultural diffused that I be trying to tell people that don't be from here when you come here. Yo, it is very normal to see a Black person with an Asian person, or an Asian person with a white person here, because my first best friend was a Bosnian kid, bro. Keep it honest with you. But growing up, you don't really start seeing it until you start getting to the middle schools and high schools aspects of the things, because elementary is.
But this is where I was going to argue with you, that I think when I say that elementary schools are segregated is that Utica isn't an all-around magnet school. Mm-hmm. So there are some elementary schools that are predominantly white.
Yep.
And those are the ones who have the best PTAs, right? Have the most after-school programs.
Don't use the quotes because it's true.
You're right.
That's
You're
a
right.
fact.
You're right. Let me put my right. Who can afford to, we're just gonna fundraise this little money, right, to take their kids all over the place, where their kids do have tablets, and we're in the same district.
My school takes trips to Spain and Boston, all that.
Correct.
Listen, I was watching Lizzie McGuire the other day.
Hold on.
She said Lizzie McGuire movie.
They went to Spain. We never had the opportunity to go.
Nah, I'm
to
keeping
Spain. You
it.
took
Nah,
I
I'm
used
keeping it
to
100 with you.
live that life, and
I don't know about-
watching that movie.
I don't know about y'all elementary schools.
My elementary
But
school
Jefferson
took us
and
to
North
Albany.
Utica, bro, they brought us everywhere.
You
bro.
get what I'm saying?
Bro, I went to Bronx Zoo.
I went to Kernan.
Broadway.
I went to watch
I went to Kernan.
I went to
That's
Kernan.
not what we had.
Exactly.
To Albany to see the governor.
Yeah,
still
Kernan,
shit.
exactly. And it's
That's
still
where my
it's
sister
still
goes.
shit. I ride by it and I just see like, oh my God, I just see just by how it looks. It just didn't
The kids ain't got no
change.
textbooks. They rarely come home with homework. So what the hell are they learning?
Right.
And let me tell you, I think what gets sad is that it's so this is why I started coming back home, right? Because I was in Kernan when I had my first teacher. I had the secretary there tell me she was going to work for me one
Who
day.
was the secretary?
Miss Gretchen Jenkins.
I
Shout out
remember
to you,
Miss
Miss
Gretchen.
Jenkins.
I remember her. For
Right.
real, uh-huh.
And so there are people who really care, who made a difference and were like, no, you're special. We're going to kind of set you apart, right? But what does it mean that I was already like super intellectually like gifted. And I thank God for that, right? Because I'm like, I said I was going to go to Harvard when I was 4, y'all. My
Manifested it.
yeah, like
For real,
Congratulations.
manifestation.
manifested,
real.
yes, but also I feel like that came from God because my mom is an immigrant from the Dominican Republic who still speaks English with a very thick accent and gets, embarrassed kind of speaking. She didn't know about college.
And
She
you
doesn't
gotta
have a
tell her, don't
degree.
get embarrassed. That's where
And I have
her
to tell her
roots-
all the time, you know what I mean? But it's the fact that we still have to do that work, right? And so when I come back, I had this clear vision of like, no, I'm going to Harvard. I gotta be the track star. I gotta be the sports person. I gotta do it all.
Definitely.
Yo, that's another thing I want to ask you.
Definitely.
All right, with you going to Harvard and you being the Latino, that's your culture and shit. Was it like a weight on your shoulder, like being at the university? Like I have to like complete this for myself and my people.
Was it hard? Like, what was it
I
hard
didn't
for
interrupt,
real?
but Sasha's here. She was calling me.
Now,
And can I interrupt you?
Let me call her.
Yeah, please go
Because
ahead.
I feel like there is pressure. There's a constant pressure when you step into an environment like that. But it's also that mentality, like I'm a bad bitch. I got this. Like ain't
definitely, and
nobody
you
gonna
supposed to
tell
represent.
me nothing. They gonna look at
Exactly.
me and look down. Or look
Exactly.
up, excuse me. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? Like,
No, I mean, that was a part of it because I knew that I had earned every single moment that I was there, right? Wasn't nobody going to tell me
Exactly.
I got like, and I was very adamant about no one taking away my hard work in the equation. Because it's like to go to Proctor, like to be an AP student, and this is what I want to go back to the segregation point, right? So the elementary schools are segregated. The ones who have the most money, the most resources, who take their kids on trips, who expose them to careers, are in South Utica and North Utica, which is where all the white people with money in Utica live.
I've been taught all my life, and y'all don't even know. Listen, let me tell you. No,
Yeah, it's
no.
not be
Y'all
that
sit
one
here
man that
talking
come
about
around,
denial.
or
Y'all
woman,
sit here
whatever.
talking about rejection. I done been rejected before.